welcome back to the Let's Be Honest podcast. This is episode 2 with myself, Peter, Paul, and Stuart. You know, I got on deck. Have on deck. Do we need an order of what?
Well, it's lucky his name isn't Mary, isn't it? I could have been
going to say.
about Peter, Paul, Mary. Peter, I think you've had your hair done. You're very shiny around the forehead.
Here's a question: do you tip your barber?
No,
I do. Makes me feel like a
Do
big
you?
shot. Yeah.
And on the street that I go, there is at least 7 barbers.
No, and how do you know which one to pick?
I like familiarity. I don't like going into the unknown.
You don't actually go in there and say, what price are you? And then come out and say, your man up the road will do it for £6.
No.
Can you do it for
I'm
5?
I'm afraid that they start sticking up the cotton buds up the nose and the...
No, you need that. You need that, but you do.
Oh,
you need
no,
that.
no,
It
no,
need
no.
to be flame in the ear.
I was stuck one day, and the only place that was open was a Turkish barber's, and I've never had a problem with ear hair until that one visit, and ever since,
Yeah.
it's now a problem.
Do you have a problem with nose hair?
I have a wee a stick up there.
Oh, right.
I haven't got, let me check. I haven't got any hairs in my ears.
You've not been a Turkish barber.
So you're saying once you do it, then it'll grow?
No.
That's my experience.
I might do a wee tint maybe or something very soon.
Well, I mean, I'm obviously at my time of life, I do dye my hair.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Just for men?
Yeah, just for men. Yeah,
Oh,
I get a dye it straight out every time I get it cut, because even now it looks all right color wise. But if I was to get that cut for some reason when it's taken right down, it's quite grey. So I color it straight after.
Well, I hope you do the wee patch test first, do you?
I don't fancy around with any of that. I just stick the gloves on and go. And sometimes, you know what? Sometimes I get it here and here, and then I have to scrub like mad because I'm not short sighted. I didn't get it off in time.
What I do want to talk about? I want to talk about electric scooters, electric bikes, electric cars. Right?
See,
I want to start.
It always comes around to electric cars. I am up to my neck trying to defend electric cars. It constantly comes around to electric cars.
Right. Before we get to the cars, what is your thought on scooters? Because I was near run over today by an electric scooter.
On the footpath?
On the footpath.
Oh, I'd lay down.
Why?
Call an ambulance, claim.
Right.
Oh, 100%.
I know a lot of those cities, particularly in America, where people come out of the pubs and then the way you can hire like a wee electric scooter just to get you home and then dump it off at another point across the city.
Like the river?
They seem to be just being banned everywhere because people are getting on them pissed and causing no end of accidents.
Or them just blowing up.
Right.
I've seen that in apartments, is that they just catch fire.
Well, you see, that is the issue because of the lithium-ion battery, and you're speaking to the right man now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the problem is that those batteries, especially the Chinese things, are supplied with inappropriate charging facilities. So the charger isn't properly fused or properly amped for the power of the battery. So what happens is there's that much electricity going into the battery overheats. Very dangerous.
But you were one of the first people I knew who got an electric car, and then you got rid of it very quickly, and now you're back again to it.
Yeah. Well, back then when I first adopted the electric car, the problem was the infrastructure's wasn't there. It's still not really there today, but I didn't have the charger thing at the house. So when you were coming out to do things at night and you had no charge, you couldn't go anywhere. It was quite restrictive. But now I've got the charger at the house and I charge up, and I'm running around that thing for about £11 a week.
£11 a week, you say?
Yeah.
But there was many times, as you say, going back to your original issue when you didn't have the home charger, there was so many times where you'd have pulled up somewhere and maybe there were 2 chargers, one's out of order and one's being used by somebody else.
Yeah. You experienced that with me many a time. It's very frustrating.
But you see, so many different cities now where Uber is so prominent. Everybody doing Ubers driving an electric car because it just makes sense.
Yeah, but it makes sense cost wise. But from next year again, then from next year, well, for example, I don't pay any tax on this car, and from next year, you will pay tax.
Right. Okay.
And anybody buying one next year, and an electric car is usually over £40,000, and then you're hit with then value tax on top of that. So the road tax on the electric car next year will be around about £580.
When do you think will be the day when everybody has one?
I can't see it.
Okay.
Like, not in my time. Not in my time. Should have pushed it back from 2030 to 35.
Right.
So, and even, what are you, Manford, 40?
Yeah.
So 50, 60, you might see.
I'll be on a hoverboard.
Yeah, they're talking about. Here's another question. I don't know if you saw in the news the other day, which again is totally ridiculous. And you come down and you think about how ridiculous is this? The government in 2 years' time want to see flying taxis. Did you see that?
I heard some conspiracy person.
That's
Maybe
not
that's
conspiracy.
No. But I heard somebody on, I think it was Radio 5 the other day, talking about he's convinced that this technology already exists, but they're just holding it back. They're just that we'll keep them busy at the minute with their iPhones and whatnot, but they're not quite ready for that. It's too advanced.
Nonsense. Not about when he was on Radio 5. That's nonsense.
People can't even drive on the road, never mind driving the air.
I know we're going to diversify a wee bit here, but they're talking about flying taxis in 2 years, okay? Here we are in 2024. You can't... They want everybody in the electric car. You can't even find a bloody charger. No. And in 2 years, they think you're going to have a flying taxi. Mm-hmm. Right? Let's think about this. Where are these things going to land? Right? You have to drive down to like a depot that has... You picture us getting a taxi and the three of us down to, say, Belfast, and we have to go to this, and we get into a helicopter flying taxi thing. It's complete nonsense. These people. So let's go down this conspiracy theory thing as well, right? I was on the phone today trying to make phone calls to Bangor and couldn't get connections.
Yeah.
See, back when they landed on the moon, they were able to talk back from the moon like that. What was that, 69?
Yeah.
No hassle. And I can't get a 5G signal from Lisburn to Bangor. And they're going to have flying taxis in 2 years.
But and then what about like people with like drones and all? You imagine the communication you need to have before you took off.
Who's going to do the air traffic control?
Yeah.
Car 7 heading to Belfast. Watch out for car 9. He's heading up the other way. Come on. Like, this is on the BBC News website. Flying taxis in 2 years.
But if that becomes a thing, surely then the police now would have to fly too.
Why?
To catch them if something goes on. So
this would be the air police then, would it?
Air police.
Right. Do you know what?
And what about breakdown? What about breakdown?
Well, you crash then. You fall out of the sky.
That's fair.
You can't get a phone signal to Bangor.
You can't get a taxi?
You can't get a taxi.
That's true. That's very true, yeah.
Seriously, look, there's another thing going on here as well, right? They're putting an electric boat from Bangor to Belfast. Okay? Mm-hmm. Why? Why?
I wasn't ready for that.
I thought it was going to be a bigger question.
Yeah.
More part of it. Okay, bring it on. Good luck to them. Let them get on. Let them do the business. Good stuff. Good luck.
There must be money in the pot to spend, and they have to do it.
Yeah. How's about maybe thinking about, let's maybe extend the train lines or something, or put more trains on or something. I just don't. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
We're always so far behind, though.
100%.
We haven't even got the Amazon drones, the delivering drones and food delivering. What about the wee robots as well that drive down the road for like Just Eat and?
Well, there's one at Belfast Airport. If you go up there, you can get a beef burger delivered to your table for an extra £4.
But you know what's hilarious? As a few hotels now have this delivering your room service, but a flipping human walks up beside it with the card machine. I don't. There's maybe other shops that are now doing this as well, but the one that stands out to me. Do you know? Is it Pull and Bear in Victoria Square? Right, the clothes
shop. Yeah.
Right.
Never heard of it.
And whenever you have your clothes that you want to buy, you go over to what looks essentially like self-service checkouts in a supermarket, but you have to scan everything yourself. Then you have to unclip the security tag yourself, and then you have to put it into the bag and then pay there's one woman who generally stands in the area just in case you've never used it before. She won't help you, but she'll just like tell you, here's the process, or here's the order of what you need to do, and you go, why am I this is part of the service. Is somebody doing all this for me?
How often are you in there?
Sporadically.
Obviously.
What do you call the camping place out at IKEA? You buy camping gear, you buy tents and all from it.
The range?
No, not the range.
Oh, it's not out.
They do sports. They do loads of sports equipment and all inside too.
Do you call it?
But when you go in, and it's a self-service thing, but you don't scan your items. It goes by the weight of what you've put in. So if you put a golf ball in the basket, it knows it's a golf ball just by the weight.
So it's the difference between a family tent and a golf ball.
And that's what I have no even clothes. Like what if you put one pair of shorts in, another pair of shorts in, but it can tell what shorts you put in. How?
And what's to stop you putting a golf ball in and walking out with a tent?
That's a good point. Yeah, haven't tried it.
I was waiting for you to jump in and say, well, it works quite well.
Yeah.
I was at a garage and I lifted 2 bottles of tonic water and a bag of crisps. And when I put it through the self-service thing, the way I placed the bottle of tonic water down again in front of the scanner, I'd already scanned it once, placed it down, and then it went beep, 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 beep. And it came up 10 bottles of tonic water. I had to get a girl. Delete.
Had you to request Meryl to come and go over the auto override with her tag?
No, it was a young lady who she smelled lovely, but I didn't want to say it. I thought she's gonna think he's weird enough. He's come in here for 2 bottles of tonic water and a big bag of crisps.
Did you ever drive off and forget to pay for the petrol?
No. I can't say I've ever done that. I've seen it happen. I've been in a garage and seen people do it. Quick, call the police, Gene! But I've never done it myself.
Oh, ever?
Why would I do it myself?
Well, what would you do? What would you do if you turned up at the petrol station and you filled your car and you hadn't enough money?
I'd ring somebody, or I'd go in and say that, or
is it true you can fill out a wee form? Is that true?
I don't know. I'm electric, Peter. I don't know.
Oh, well, that's true. But apparently you can fill out a wee form and you give your ID and stuff, and if you come back within a day or something, there's something like that.
I've heard about people having to hand over their driving licenses and leave their driving license there and then go back. And what really frustrates me then, especially in the motorbike, if you go out the motorbike and you're trying to put in, say, you've only 20 quid and it goes to £20 and 4p. And they ask you then for the 4p. Sorry, I haven't got the 4p. I've only got the £20. I hear, mate, you took a 4p extra.
I've been asked for a penny once.
I'll tell you what, the next time I'm back, I'll only put in 1996. Mate, you need to get the 4p.
Yeah.
Need to get the 4p. And then the other thing about that then that frustrates me as well, how do they work it out? 134.7. Right?
Yeah.
139.5 across the street. So, you're going around and you think, well, that one's cheaper than that one. But how do you fill up the £1.34.7? How does that work?
Here's something that irritates me. And it's always a Go Garage who does it cheaper on a certain day. And everyone is queued down, say the A1, or queued down the turn off into the Go Garage to save. And realistically, by the time you sit there with your engine on, waiting for the queue, you're saving about £5.
That's quite a substantial amount, Pistol.
But not for the hassle of queuing to get into the petrol station with your car running and you're wasting petrol anyway because you're in the queue.
Well, did you ever think of maybe switching the car off?
No, but these people don't.
But you see, if you had modern technology, Pistol, and I know you've recently changed your car, you should have stop-start facility.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm just thinking, just for all that hassle and all that waiting, just to save a £5.
Right. Well, I was in your neck of the woods the other day. Further on up past your neck of the woods, and I came back and I saw that petrol station actually, and it was 134.5 or 134.6, I think, for petrol, and 140 maybe 0.7 for diesel or something like that. Now, there was no major queue. But the next one down on the right-hand side was 141 and 149. So, yes, I am going to go up to the one at 134 and sit there to save a fiver.
Do you used to wash your car yourselves, or do you like take it through the Polish car wash?
Oh, no, I went to one the other day, unfortunately. Sadly, I had to go to one the other day. The weather was just so bloody cold and so wet and miserable. The car was stinking. And I went it the other day, a tenner, right? For like a minute and a half. And it's spread over, rinse it, a load of them. And actually, goodbye. A tenner.
See, I don't know about you, but I always feel...
And it's all cash.
Yes, but I always feel quite useless and less of a man when I'm sitting in my car and there's like a woman 15, 20 years older than me and her daughter or a much younger girl and maybe a fella as well, and they're all scrubbing away at Mike. I'm just sitting there
in leggings.
Well, that's it. Part of me doesn't really know where. Part of me doesn't really know where to look.
Well, it's the most awkward. It's so awkward.
I also feel like they're going, you're lazy, you lazy bastard.
Yeah, wash your own car? Do you just bury your head into the dash? And then you get to be wrapping the window. Move forward. Forward.
Yeah, and you can't bloody move forward because they've covered the window in soap.
Correct.
You can't see.
Yes. But I like it. As soon as the window's covered in soap, I can relax because for a minute I can't see.
It just goes into darkness.
Did you ever complain after having the car washed?
I'm too awkward to complain.
Would you ever get out and look round it and say, "Excuse me, you've missed a bit"?
No.
Would you not?
I know you would.
Oh, I would. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
There are some who are very, very good at it because, like you say, they just swarm the car. And
what got me one day was I was nearly ready to take a turn. Washer A, let's say, is on the left-hand side with his sponge, and washer B came over to the right-hand side of the car with his sponge, but he threw the sponge from the side of the bucket, and it landed on the bottom and fell on the ground. Mm-hmm. And then he went to lift it and just start to wash the car again, and it's all covered in. So I
stones and all.
No. Hold on. What's wrong? Just look. Sure, the thing would have been destroyed. Oh, turn out. The thing would have been destroyed.
Yeah,
we're like 2 episodes into this, 3 overall, and you still don't put your phone on silent.
I'm sure I was sitting on the radio the other day, and I'm talking away, chatting away to my fans, and next thing, and who was it, Pistol?
I don't know.
Him.
Oh.
Do you mention that
you did it on purpose?
No, that night I forgot you were on, so it was a bit of a surprise to me. Not long into the conversation when you said, "Hold on a wee second." Yeah, Bruno Mars there.
And did you reference the phone, or did you just keep going on?
No, I'm talking away in the microphone and groping around with my right hand. I've been caught a couple of times, and a couple of Sundays ago too, I was sitting talking on the handover from the previous presenter, and he's talking, and we're talking away nonsense, and next thing my thing goes off. There's someone at your front door. For fuck's sake. It's just, I thought I had it muted, and you got, there's someone at your front door.
Yeah.
And he's going, why is your phone not in silent? I said, well, I forgot. So just be honest. Let's be honest and just be honest. It's live radio, and let's be honest.
Who cares, really? At the end of the day, who cares? Your phone goes off.
Professional working for a couple of stations at the one time, you wouldn't do that. We're more laid back. Us guys, we're more laid back, more personable, and more sort of approachable. And you know what I'm saying?
So about the car wash, did you approach them?
Of course I approached them. I'll get out.
I always forget that the back of my car is full of DJ gear. So whenever they go to open the back doors, and like an extension lead, the speaker stand falls out.
I have a friend who detests it, and he has a 10-year-old car, but he would not go near it, even with his 10-year-old car. So they just destroy it. Mm-hmm. Because they use a thing called traffic film remover, first of all, right? And that takes off all the polish. Okay, if you keep your car nice and clean, it takes off all the polish. And then those sponges are being dumped in buckets covered in grit and dirt, and they're just washing it all over, scraping your windscreen and everything. He wouldn't go anywhere near it.
Mm-hmm.
I was stuck, and it was a tenner, and I thought, I was.
It used to be like £4 too as well.
Well, it's a tenner. My car's a tenner, and it's just a normal, as you know, 5-door car.
Isn't the stuff that the squirt doesn't it like eat away at your brake pads or stuff?
TFL, traffic fire remover. It's full of acid.
And then not long into going, every time you brake, you get like
it's full of acid. You see, it's acid based, so it takes off all that grime and stuff. It's for washing lorries and washing buses and stuff. It shouldn't be used on a car that you're trying to keep.
And why is it just because it's cheap?
Yeah.
All right.
I went to one, and there's some who do all that, and they all crowd around you. But this one that I went to on this particular day sprayed it with the water, sprayed it with the foam, sprayed it with the water, and said, "There you are." No sponge was there, no window cleaning, just spray the whole time.
Did you get out?
I didn't get out. I just said, "Oh, there you are," and just
Why?
didn't go back. I just didn't go back.
So you drove off with the car. You drove off with the car dirty, really?
Yeah, it was about £4.
Well, obviously that was just the spray and go or whatever.
No. With it, he did it to everyone. Not a cloth was to be seen.
You could have sat in the car and got your hair out, sat in it.
You gotta,
Get the face wash.
Why sat and give me?
Guys will take my top off.
People see that now. Car wash, wash and go. Hair wash and go. £3.
Car wash.
I saw a sign at Barbers the other day. Haircut while you wait.
Wait for what?
So yeah. So don't start me on that.
Yeah.
But those people doing that all day long,
it's a fortune.
But it's a tough enough gig, isn't it?
It is
all day long doing that.
Imagine being bent over. Bent over for all those hours.
Wet gig. Like I passed one the other day, and they're all huddled around this fire thing, trying to absolutely freezing. And it's a cold, wet gig. I'll give it that. But for a tenner, like you expect it. But here's the other thing as well, right? Let's be honest. Are they paying for the water? Where's all that water go? With all that detergent in it afterwards? Is that all? Because they just pop up everywhere. They're opened up everywhere.
Would you ever pay someone to come into your house every week and clean?
I do.
Do you do that?
What?
Now, how
do you pay them?
See, no, not how do you pay them. I have a friend around the corner who does that too, and I just don't like people being around the house. And are you there? Are you there when they do
it? No, I tend not to be because it leads to a lot of chat and not a lot of work. So I tend to take off. And then
do you sit somewhere and watch them on CCTV?
Oh no, you couldn't do that. Bamford, you're very you have to stick that word in there again, allegedly.
Yeah.
But it'd be like an episode. It would be like an episode of what is it? Does it Come Down With Me, where they go through your drawers and all, and they go through your bedroom and?
No, you see, this person is very trustworthy, and I've known her for a long time, and I know her brother, and she started this wee business up, and she would text me, I'll be around at 1:45 or whatever. So I say, right, leave the key for you, blah blah blah. Or if I am in, I make the excuse then to go out and get groceries or something, or I'll do something, just let her plunder away, or I'd go and stand in the garage or something.
And how often would your cleaner be around?
Once a fortnight.
See, this is the thing. Your house is spotless, and the times where I've been round, every time like the food's eaten or the drink's drunk, everything's cleaned immediately. I don't understand what the cleaner does.
And as you well know, I'm very, very, I don't know if it's an OCD thing or what it is, but I don't like to see a dirty plate sitting. Like, for example, I had my tea there tonight, and I was watching a movie, and I had to pause the movie and lift the plates and go and wash them.
Wow. And
but you use a dishwasher, Bamford, don't you?
I'm about to fire one up straight after this.
Well, how many plates would you have in it?
About 8.
So you have 8 plates in the dishwasher sitting for like a week?
No. Maybe 8, and then maybe a variety of tiny plates, a few bowls, a
But
saucepan.
over what period of time?
I wouldn't say a week, but it wouldn't be far off a week.
Sure, they were
Maybe-
stinking.
That's why I wash them.
Yeah, you were sitting in that machine stinking for like a week.
It's fine, but then turn it on, wash it, and everything's clean.
And you know it's very hard in electric. Oh, look. Oh, doesn't matter.
No, it does matter, but it's, I'm not, I don't feel confident that they're totally clean when I stand at the sink and wash them myself.
Right, so you're sitting the night, right? Have you had your tea?
Yeah, I just had spaghetti bolognese, yeah.
Right, how many plates did you use for that?
I used one plate for the spaghetti bolognese and a side plate for the garlic bread.
Right. So when you were finished with that, could you just put that in the sink and washed it?
There's already stuff in the sink, and
What's in the sink?
like 2 wine glasses and my thermos coffee thing.
And why are they not in the dishwasher?
I tend to hand wash wine glasses.
Right. But you wouldn't wash the plate? One plate. You live in your own. One plate.
And then, but you've got the it's all bogging from like the tomatoey sauce, and then it's got in the plug hole and all. I'd rather just fucking the dishwasher.
Oh.
But do you not find you have to wash it again when it comes out of the dishwasher?
Never. Now, I did have an issue recently where the dishwasher was leaking to the downstairs. I think we talked about this previously.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it's
I
great.
thought it was the toilet.
Bamford had to go downstairs and retrieve 2 plates and a cup.
no, we talked about we talked about this. It was the toilet, and then it moved on to the dishwasher.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't use it. I just have to wash it myself. But I bleach my cups. I bleach the cups.
No, I need to do that, but I'm scared. How much bleach do you put in? I'm scared of killing myself.
Just what do you mean kill it? You're not drinking it.
No, but once you bleach it and you dry it, what if there's bleach left over?
Well, you rinse it out.
But I'm just scared.
You rinse it out. Look. Hold on a second. A wee tiny drop of bleach in the cup. Put the water in. Let it sit there overnight, and you get lovely clean cups. Empty it out. Rinse it out 2 or 3 times, and set it on the drainer. It takes away the rings.
But would your cleaner just clean, or would you do any like ironing?
No, it just cleans.
Oh, I love someone the iron.
Years ago, my mum got her. She was a really, really, really good cleaner, and she would have done the ironing and changed the bed and all.
I tend to iron in the morning every day for that item that I'm going to wear. I can't be bothered doing ironing everything for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. I just do it as I need it.
But you see, we're talking here, Banford, as 2 single blokes. Let's fire the ball over to your man here.
Well, that's a good question. And I remember watching my mum and dad, and my mum did all the cooking and cleaning, but then my dad went to work. Yes. Whereas things have changed now, and I see with my married brothers, they seem to be the ones making the dinner, doing the washing, cutting doing everything.
No. Okay. I'll be honest, and I'll be honest, right? I don't do anything to do with clothes.
Oh,
well, that's
simply because I did put whites in with something at one time, and it leaked, and it went. I thought I put a color catcher in, it didn't, and then I ruined clothes. So I've been banned really from the washing machine.
Let me tell you, I put it all in together. Nothing's ever happened.
I can't
do that.
Oh, I do. Jeans, towels, smalls, coats, shirts, the whole lot. None at once.
That's madness.
The whole lot.
No, you can't. I destroyed it. I destroyed it up by doing that.
Other cases, all in at once. No problems.
But then what?
On a 40 for 44 minutes.
I was going to say that would annoy me because then what's set? Is it cotton? Is it?
Oh, I don't know. Automatic 40 for 44 minutes. That's it. And I have it set to come on about 7 o'clock in the morning for a cheap electric.
No, see, I've been banned. I would do. We've been doing HelloFresh recently. I would do a wee bit of cooking.
Who does?
I would try a wee bit of cooking.
Oh, do you?
Try. No, I
what's your specialty?
Last night we had beef noodles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because HelloFresh give you the exact ingredients and the exact stuff that you need, and you just throw it, whatever, in a pan or throw it in the oven or.
There's a boy at my door regularly trying to talk me into signing up for this, and I'm always
it's not ridiculous. There's no waste.
Go
no
down
waste.
to the Spar and buy meat chunks and a packet of noodles. 90p for the packet of noodles, and you'll get the meat chunks for about £2.70.
No, I have to say,
Cut
it's
up.
pretty.
Have you got a slow cooker?
No.
Cut up
Oh,
an
no,
onion.
I do.
Put a whole lot in, and there you go. Beef with noodles.
But no, but they gave you the exact amount
of what?
The exact step by step of the ingredients. So say like there was the spices that you need and the soy sauce and
you're not seriously. Look, have you heard of pepper?
But hold on, how does it, so do you tell them like there's two adults or
there's another boy at work does this.
Stuart,
Cheeky Owen Beers does this,
right?
And he thinks he's Gordon Ramsay.
And how much are they charging?
Finished, he ends up with a wee bowl, but looks like a starter.
How much are they charging you for this?
Let me just look it up here, and I'll tell you. But
what are you paying monthly?
You pay monthly, and you go on at the end of every week, and you select what you want then for the next week.
And yeah, okay.
Just the bit because when it comes to measuring stuff and all, that's the bit that annoys me. I can't be bothered with that.
Pistol, you go down and you get a half a pound of meat chunks out of the bar, and you get 2 packets for £7. Throw the meat chunks into the pot, fry it up, a wee bit of olive oil, right? Brown it up nicely. If you're going to just do it on the pan, cut up an onion, throw the onion into it. Maybe a carrot if you want. Boil the potatoes, and you've got stew.
Yeah, but he doesn't want meat chunks every night.
I'm trying to find out.
He just sat the other night and he made beef with noodles.
Each serving is £4.44.
That's not too bad. Well, let's say. Well, please don't tell me it says on the box this will feed 4.
Oh no! It is a good sir. It's enough.
You see, I'm fascinated with this air fryer business, and everything nearly I do is in the air fryer. And I think I'm not too sure whether that's really good for you or not. So you know, breaded chicken in the air fryer and those sort of beer battered chips in the air fryer night. But tonight I changed it around a wee bit. And I got some chicken breasts and I just fried them in the pan with olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I did do chips in the air fryer. Those beer battered chips, but I pan fried the chicken and butter fried it, and it was quite tasty. I had that with air fryer chips, right? But for tomorrow night, I've got pork chops.
You say meat chunks?
Right, pork chops, which I'll do in the air fryer.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got myself then a wee thing of, mash with scallions in it. What do you call that?
Mash Direct?
Yes, from Mash Direct, but it's mash with scallions. What do you call that?
Champ.
So I'll just do that in the microwave. So there's another dinner. For
But see, that's the good thing about like HelloFresh, because you can just go through the menu and choose. Because I struggle with thinking of things. I'd be having the same thing every night. I can't think of different meals every time.
But you see, that's to me, Pistol, that sounds very, very extravagant.
No,
cost wise, but going through the rigmarole of the spices and
I think it's probably the next for the younger generation. It's probably the next natural thing from like Amazon.
Well, maybe. Well, I was out at a gig last night and I just went to Nando's,
which is bloody expensive.
Correct. And had a chicken burger and mash on a corn on the cob, and it was like £25 or £26.
I wanted to bring this up actually. Do you two frequent Boojum?
No.
Years ago, I used to, and then it got too dear. It got too dear.
Right.
I remember rice and something else,
like burritos and burrito bowls and stuff. But
no.
I remember it was a long time ago. You used to get a drink and a burrito for £5. That was their whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was it yesterday or the day before, and a burrito on its own, which by the way was stone cold and made with absolutely no love. The fella just grunted at me. And that was £8, close to £9 just for the burrito, no drink.
Mm-hmm.
And there was not even nice about it.
Yeah. And it can be just full of rice sometimes. You bite into it, it's just rice. There's no meat, you ask for chicken and you get,
But even you could tell his okay, it's not fair to single him out as a representative of the brand, but
okay, I'm going to bring up McDonald's in a minute.
But at the end of the day, his attitude as he was making it he couldn't give a toss. And then as soon as I tried to take it out of the wrapper and took a bite out of it, the whole thing just fell apart. You know, it wasn't even tightly wrapped.
There's people in Subway like that too, but who just shouldn't be making sandwiches.
Well, let's jump into McDonald's here. It's the friggin' same. I called in the other night after work and got their so-called Big Tasty, right, which came out cold. I always order the chips without the salt because they have to do them fresh, which is a wee tip, okay?
Dude, yeah.
So the chips were okay because they have to be done without salt. But the burger thing came out freezing, cold, dry, hard. I'm not a word about it, and that was £9.
Why is it too, out of everywhere, the slowest staff are KFC?
Nobody cares. They don't care.
Yeah.
Well, if you were standing there for
But every KFC is different though.
throwing in, 2 chicken wings and a leg, would you not be like,
No, but there should be somebody cracking the whip.
we're not allowed to do it anymore. You used to do that. Not allowed to do it anymore. No more cracking whips. No more of that business. Customer service gone to the dogs, and don't start me about going even to good restaurants and stuff where stuff's coming out crap. We're talking about complaining. I always would.
I've seen it firsthand.
If it's not right, but look, if it's not right, you're entitled to complain about it. That's why they come round, don't forget, and ask you halfway through your meal, is everything all right, sir?
I always say okay. I always say yeah.
Well, you see, you shouldn't. If it's not right, it's not right. One day we had a so-called roast beef dinner, if you remember.
Right, yeah.
I went up to Christmas, I think, and mine came down freezing. It was not right.
My favourite, though, was it last year when you and I were invited to the opening of some chicken place up at Boucher? Was it chicken?
Yeah.
Chicken place at Boucher. And
you should be in these social circles, Pistol. You're missing out.
Seriously? You had vouchers for quite a substantial amount of free food.
Correct.
And after it was being hoovered, then you might say rightly so, but this was day one opening. After we'd hoovered, and then you cornered the manager to give him some pretty negative feedback.
Was not the idea to come and sample it and tell us what you think?
No, it was. And if I was him, I would appreciate. I wouldn't just want to hear good stuff if it wasn't good. But I think it kind of rocked him a wee bit because everybody was just coming and going. Oh, great food,
Oh, well, what would you if you were in that role as a manager? Would you appreciate that or not?
Personally, I would, but
right.
That's something I've learned over the last 2 years.
You, Pistol, would you appreciate it?
People don't want people. This is something I'm learning. People don't want the truth. They don't want feedback. They don't want negativity.
Why would I go out? Why would I go out? I'll give you an example again. The other night, I went up to Moira, to a place where you have to bring your own drink. Okay, bring your own. And I brought a bottle of wine. And the bottle of wine was a screw cap. And she charged me a tenner to open it.
Right.
Corkage. It was a tenner. To unscrew the bottle of wine.
Do that.
But I unscrewed it. But they still charged me a tenner.
Didn't we get stung for corkage in the tuk-tuk and we had cans of beer?
Yes, tins of beer. And we're what was it, £2 a tin?
So, I never understood that. Bring your own. Why is that a thing then? You might as well buy it there.
Well, they're not allowed to sell it.
Oh, they don't sell it. Right, okay. Right.
Then don't you find the food's a little more expensive because most places make their dough on the booze?
Right, so here's the story. And look, and I'll be honest here as well. I like a nice steak, okay? And I like a nice steak medium rare. And I like it tender, as you would do. The steak was £36. Okay. Now, it came out like a burger. About the size of a burger. All right? Which was allegedly 6-ounce sirloin steak or 10-ounce or whatever it was. And you couldn't cut into it. So do you think I should actually sit there and try and chew that? Or should I say, excuse me, do you mind that steak isn't edible? Or do you just pay your £36, say, great, thanks, bye-bye?
Do you not just feel if you complain, they're going to go around and spit in your food and they're just going to they're going to make it awkward for you?
I'll have to give you another wee line on that, Pistol, allegedly.
Allegedly.
That's the risk you run. I remember watching a program with one of the top chefs on it, and I like watching cooking programs and that sort of stuff. And they dropped it on the floor. and put it back on the plate and send it back out again. Look, what do you do? Because what really frustrates me is then if they take it away and they bring you back the same meal. For example, if it's cold and you've had a bit of, sorry, that's cold, and they bring you back the same thing, stick it in the microwave for 4 minutes, comes back absolutely roasted, you can't eat, touch it then. Look, it's a very dodgy thing. So if you were to sit down and if the three of us were to go out for a night and say, right, we had 3 steaks at nearly £40 each, right? And again, this happened to us before in Belfast, Banford. I can't remember if you were there or not. A member of the party's meat was not good.
I was there, yeah, but I mean, she couldn't taste it, and she was that drunk.
Well, but at the end of the day, it wasn't right. So you do bring it to their attention, say, I'm sorry, but that's not, or do you just, like that was £60 a head that night. So, do you pay it? Or do you just say, hold on a second?
Although I remember there was a load of us.
I've taken a McDonald's back. That's how bad it is. I've taken a McDonald's back.
There was a load of us in one night, and they screwed up the order, and then the way the food came out, some people got fed, others didn't. Some had finished, others were only getting theirs. And the bill was significant, and we complained and pointed it out, and they dramatically dropped. They took something ridiculous, like 75% off the bill. But what I mean is, as you say, you could just say, oh, this is terrible, and never go back. But the complaining actually paid off.
Well, I had a shirt of Shadow Briand, and it was like £90. And it was awful.
Do you know, I once bought a box of cans of Bud Light, and there was about 15 cans in this box. And when I opened them, I mean, I only opened a few of them, but I could feel the rest of them. There was nothing in them. They were sealed cans, and they were empty, right? And I had to ring a phone line, who then directed me to a website. I then had to fill out 2 forms, take a photograph, attach that to an email. And you know what they sent me? A £5 off my next purchase.
But where's the line, though? When you say, like, the food doesn't taste nice, or I get if it's not cooked right, but if it just doesn't taste the way you expect it to taste, like, there's got to be a line.
Well, you see, that's very difficult if it doesn't taste the way you expect it, because everybody's tastes are different. So if you got something and you think it doesn't taste right, well, that's not in my opinion, it's not an issue you could bring up to the manager or whatever. But if you order a nice medium rare steak and it comes out burnt or overdone, or it's all full of fat, or whatever the case may be, or you can't eat it, or it's all gristly, certainly you'd send it back. You'd have to. I've done that round in that place we just mentioned there a couple of times, because it just came out slapped out. And it's the old story. If they think that you have arrived in and had a few drinks or whatever the case may be, they think you're not going to pick up on this and you'll just eat whatever the case may be. But if I'm going to spend £60 on a steak, for example, it's not, and if it's not right, I'll certainly complain about it.
You're like the rate my takeaway guy, and you should make a channel where you go around places and you give your opinion.
I have told him this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, I was in a new place today that I went to try. It's called Zulu. Give them a wee plug. Zulu Cafe at Top of Palm Park in Lisburn. Just opened a couple of days. Girl and her partner doing their best to get a wee business underway. And I just had the club sandwich, okay? And it was superbly put together. Loads of chicken, loads of bacon, loads of lettuce, tomato on bread with the crust cut off and really nicely toasted, 3-layer. Really, really good, right? And there's another place, in fact, the three of us have been to it, and we'll give them a plug as well, Bolt in Belfast.
Yes, it is good. Yeah.
Which is very good. Which is really very good. And they're very hard-working, and they can put together a really nice deli sandwich, and they can do all this sort of stuff reasonably priced. So I had that club sandwich today, 2 cups of coffee, £9, which I thought was quite reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. So why would I go then and spend, say, in the sticks and stones, £60, £70, £80, £90 for a steak that's just threw down in front of you and it's absolutely gross? I'm not mentioning it.
Here's something that's going to be probably controversial, but I went to Wetherspoons recently for food, right? And I was surprised at the quality of the food. I know it's maybe just, put in the microwave.
My dad and a few of his friends went they got the bus into Belfast a few weeks ago, and he went to Wetherspoons for the first time in his life, and he hasn't shut up about it since. Mm-hmm. how reasonable it was, and I think he got his food and he drank all afternoon for about 20 quid.
What do you think a reasonable price is for, say, a lunch, 2-person lunch? What would you think a reasonable? What would be a reasonable? Right, I'll just throw this at you. Again, I was at another venue the other day, and the order was 2 prawn salads, 2 cups of coffee, and a slice of lemon meringue pie, doubled. So 2 cups of coffee, 2 slices of lemon meringue pie, and 2 prawn salads.
I mean,
For lunch.
ideally, I would be
Well,
paying
what do you think?
22 quid.
God, what words he living at?
Well, I'm thinking I wouldn't, like, 4 quid for coffee each, maybe.
2 prawn salads and 2 slices of lemon meringue pie.
Prawn salad's probably be 7 quid. Okay, maybe 25, 26.
26.
I'd say 30.
30. £63.
Fuck.
You,
What?
you were robbed.
The prawn salads were £21.50 each.
What?
The coffees were £5 each, and the 2 slices of lemon meringue pie were £9.50 each. It was around about 63 quid
Fucking hell.
for lunch.
That's
And
I
it
can get
was,
over that.
I can tell you now, it was rammed. But I'll tell you another thing. Here's the other thing as well. You know, if you're going out doing that every day, you know, it's a couple £100 a week.
I know, and especially coffees alone. Like, just like places are charging 6 quid for a coffee. Like,
Did you ever buy that coffee machine, Balford?
No,
did?
I didn't actually. No, I didn't actually. I mean, I would really love a really top-notch coffee machine, but
Well, I have this Nespresso here, as you know.
yeah,
You put the pod in it, you make up, it frosts up the milk, and it does all that sort of stuff. So it's throwing you out a latte there for about £2, maybe, ish.
now, do you know what would be niche? Because there's places where as I mentioned, the takeaway guy, he goes to people's houses. Some people have their house set up. They make the food and they bring it out the door. What about you churning out the lattes and charging people to come to your door? And say it's like 3 quid, but it's niche. It's different.
that area that I'm now working in down at City Keys, you hear at about 10:30 every morning, and you look out the window and there's the wee
Pokemon?
coffee cart pulled up, and then you see them all running out of the offices, like throwing the money at them.
It's not the Pokemon, no.
Oh, well, we're halfway to a sponsorship now. I've said all that.
Not with car wash or
Yeah, I think we'll end it there before we do get ourselves in trouble.
But you don't mind
Alright.
paying for a bit of quality. That's the
Yeah.
bonus of this. If the thing's right, you don't mind paying for it. But if it's crap, you gotta say, you just can't sit there and
would you pay for a hooker?
what?
Would you pay for a hooker?
Bamford.
But would you complain though? Would you complain?
Oh, she would probably. She would.
Right, we'll see you next week.
Thanks for the warning.
Bye.
Bye.